WrestlePod is supported by viewers like you. To support WrestlePod and the other programs on this channel, visit patreon.com/Ian Beaumont live and direct. Ian Beaumont live and direct. This is WrestlePod. Welcome to the program. Ian Beaumont here. Good to be with you once again. I was going to do something else entirely, but this week we've had some interesting news stories break, so we're going to touch on those this week. Rather than the perhaps planned episode I had. Before I get into the content that has caught my eye this week, don't forget to like, share and subscribe on YouTube, and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/WrestlePod, IBLND. Links for that are in the description below. Also is the link to our Patreon at patreon.com/Ian Beaumont live and direct. Your support there is exceedingly welcome. Okay, let's begin with Impact Wrestling. Now, I've talked a lot about WWE over recent months, mainly because they dominated my my wrestling world, as it were. They've pretty much been the only thing I've taken a lot of interest in. But there's been some interesting developments going on with Impact Wrestling. This is rather specific to the UK. So if you are watching anywhere else in the world and you don't quite understand, I will kind of explain as I go. But basically, Impact Wrestling announced earlier this week on their Impact Wrestling UK page that they had extended their deal with the channel that is known here as 5 Spike. Spike in the US has become known, I believe, as the Paramount Network or something like that. It's changed name anyway. But 5 Spike is the channel in the UK that has been airing Impact Wrestling. And Impact Wrestling's pay-per-views started off on 5 Spike. And then they went to My5's TV channel /5 Select. 5 Select is what the channel has now become. The new TV deal is, at first glance, a bit of a downgrade, because we are going to get Impact Wrestling, the weekly show, still on 5 Spike the night after, in prime time, after the night after it airs in the US. That's all well and good. Also, as part of this deal, that the live airing of Impact Wrestling now appears on the Global Wrestling Network app for those of us in the UK. And that is okay. It would be nice to have it on television as well, but maybe 5 Spike don't want to go down that route. Fair enough if they don't. That's their choice. It's their channel. They program it how they please. But the pay-per-view that's happening tonight in the US, called Redemption, that's not airing on television. Not at all. It will only air, as it were, on the Global Wrestling Network app, and we have to wait in the UK till Wednesday for that to air. So apparently it's not airing on TV at all, and I'm disappointed in that. WWE really is the only pay-per-view game in town in the UK, and has been pretty dominant in that area for a while. But for years now, ever since it first appeared on the Wrestling Channel here in the UK, we've been able to watch Impact Wrestling pay-per-views within a few days. Usually within a few days. Even the recent one-night-onlys have been sort of aired within a few days, or sometimes even as short as 24 hours after its initial pay-per-view airing. So this to me is a step backwards as far as Impact is concerned, and I don't know whether Impact is trying to get people to join their app, which would be understandable, or whether Five Spikes just said these pay-per-views are not getting views here in the UK, we don't want them anymore. And if that was the case, that's a shame, because now we're just going to get Impact Wrestling. We may still get Explosion on the My5 app, but it's on the Global Wrestling Network app as well. Not that Explosion is actually that good a show, but there are, there is at least an exclusive match, and, a chance to see that is not a bad thing. I would like to see more matches on Explosion, though. But no, we're not getting pay-per-views, apparently. Or if we are, we're not getting a new one. Maybe we will get Slammiversary. Maybe we will get Bound for Glory. I don't know. But right at the moment, Redemption, not airing in the UK. Not on TV. And that's a shame. And whether it's Impact Wrestling who've done this, or whether it's Five Spike who've done this, I feel that's a mistake. So yeah, we're not going to be able to see it until Wednesday. The results will be known from the morning anyway. So if you follow your wrestling news sites like I do, you'll pretty much know the results. I'm not going to do predictions. I did ponder the possibility, but the rather, well, I don't know, I'm going to call it shortchanging, but the not airing of it in the UK on television has kind of put a kibosh on that for me. It's like, nah, this isn't worth it. So, yeah, disappointed that we're not getting to see Redemption on TV, and you have to pay a subscription to watch it on the app. It's not that much. I think it's about $7.99. It's a reasonable price, but still, that's extra money that has to be paid out by people. I don't know how many people who have WWE Network and or New Japan would want to pay for another one, which is the same position actually the Honor Club are in at the moment. I don't know how many people who have New Japan. People who have New Japan might buy Honor Club. Whether WWE Network subscribers would buy Honor Club, I don't know. But that is the situation, and it is kind of disappointing, actually. It's not good, and I'm sorry, Impact, but you've missed the trick there. Okay, time for the second piece of news that has hit the old wires, and this one's gotten a little more traction, rather understandably. But World of Sport Wrestling is actually doing tapings next month in Norwich. So this is going to be interesting. Now, at the moment, we don't know who is going to be appearing yet. Zach Gibson was part of the rather failed experiment, I've got to call it, on Free Sports that was 5-Star Wrestling. Even as good as it was, 5-Star just was, I think it tried to do too much too soon and just fell apart. But that's by the by. Zach Gibson was part of that, but there was a announcement before 5-Star closed that they had lost the use of Zach Gibson due to him signing elsewhere in sports entertainment. Now, whether that's WWE for the upcoming United Kingdom tournament, which would be good, or whether that's World of Sport Wrestling, I don't know. But Zach Gibson was no longer part of 5-Star, and he may be on the World of Sport Wrestling roster. We don't know for certain yet. He appears on the rosters. It's currently written up on the World of Sport Wrestling website, mainly because he was involved in it, in that, and was going to be involved in the tapings that were postponed last year. Whether he's still going to be part of that, I don't know. But we will find out, I am sure, over the weeks and months to come. So they're doing, I think it's 5 sets of tapings over 3 days. So you have evening tapings for all 3 days, and then afternoon tapings for the second and third days. So that indicates to me, if it's anything like the pilot was a 2-hour show. So let me think. That would indicate that we could be getting about how many weeks? 10 weeks worth of booking here. 10-week series. We don't know for certain whether it's going to be like a series, a short series, or whether it's going to be week to week to week to week to week, in which case there'll be more bookings down the road. But at the moment, and also we don't yet know whether it's going to air on the main ITV channel, or whether it will air on ITV4, or even if it airs on the main ITV channel, will it get a repeat airing on ITV4? We don't yet know. Again, there's a lot about this we don't quite know. I'm assuming Grado is going to be there because he is the current World of Sport champion. If you remember the taping, the pilot episode that aired, I think it was New Year's Eve 2016, you will remember that Grado was the one who won the World of Sport Championship at the end of the night. I wonder how many other title belts there could be, whether the one championship is just going to keep things going for now, or whether there's going to be like whether it's going to become like a World of Sport World Championship, and then there's going to be like a British Championship, a European Championship, or something like that. And then whether there'll be like a Women's Championship, a Tag Team Championship. We don't yet know. This is a lot of quite rampant speculation is going on here, because, we know very, very little about this upcoming set of tapings. We don't yet know when these episodes will air either, or indeed who the commentators are going to be, because I can't imagine Jim Ross is going to be part of it this time. Alex Shane probably will be, I imagined Jeremy Borash would have been, but now he's been snapped up by WWE. So I don't know whether they will go with two British commentators or whether, because they were partnered with Global Force Wrestling. Now, whether that partnership is still active with Impact Wrestling, or whether that was exclusively with Global Force and Jeff Jarrett still, and that's his, I don't know. It's too nothing's clear at the moment. We're waiting for information to come out, and all we have are these taping details, and we don't really know a lot about what is going to happen. Interestingly, I did have the thought, going back to the earlier story we touched on about Impact Wrestling's UK contract. I thought they would have possibly looked to go to ITV4 if they were still partnered with World of Sport Wrestling. Maybe that's not happening now. I don't know. But whatever the situation is, I'm sure we'll get more details in the weeks to come. And I'm looking forward to seeing these episodes. This should, the 5-star wrestling ones were good, but they obviously didn't get much of an audience in the arenas. So that will be interesting to see what happens there. I'm also curious to see if Nick Aldis, also known as Magnus, will be part of these tapings, because he currently holds the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, and if he is part of these tapings, will we see an NWA World Heavyweight title defense on World of Sport Wrestling? I'd quite like to see that, actually. But who knows? We haven't, obviously, again, no real details at this point. But I'm looking forward to finding out more. And hopefully we will find out more very soon. Okay, so coming up this coming week, a little bit of business to take care of here, because Wednesday there will be an extra episode of WrestlePod where I will do predictions for the greatest Royal Rumble, with apologies to WrestleTalk. I'm sorry, I found that gimmick too good to pass up. Yeah, so we have the greatest Royal Rumble coming next Friday. Starts at about 5 p.m. It's going to be airing on pay-per-view in the UK. I'm not certain. There's a lot of confusion about whether it's airing on the network or where it's airing on the network. Yeah, I'm hoping, because I won't have pay-per-view, I am hoping it is airing on the network, because that would be nice to see. Especially at a time of day that's kind of convenient. So I will do predictions. Whether I will do a live feed or not will depend on if we get the Greatest Royal Rumble happening live on the network here in the UK, which I would have thought it would. I wouldn't have thought that wouldn't be the case. If they had the ability to regionalize, surely they would have done it in a way where UK viewers would get airings of NXT like in our prime time. So I don't think they've got regional variations in that sense. But I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. I will have full predictions for the Greatest Royal Rumble coming up this coming Wednesday on WrestlePod, and also next week. Obviously, I'll be able to look back at that, but I will do what I was going to do this week and go through some of the other events that I would like to see as network specials on the WWE network. I got a lot of ideas for that. So, look forward to going through all that with you next week. I'm looking forward to seeing this Greatest Royal Rumble. Apparently the set that's being constructed for this, whoo boy, it's WrestleMania-like in that sense. So, okay, time for a little bit of heat. I'm gonna say this. I really want to see much greater use of different sets in WWE. I dislike the current one set fits everybody. No, it doesn't. If you're creating separate brands with Raw and SmackDown, you're also creating now these co-branded pay-per-views. The sets, the Raw set should be different to the SmackDown set, should be different to the pay-per-view sets. And I say sets because they should be individual sets like they used to be. And back in the old days, when I was a young whippersnapper, every pay-per-view had a different set and a different look. These days, only WrestleMania gets the separate set treatment. I like the fact that NXT has their own set and they do not use a standard WWE set when they go to when they're full sale, when they go elsewhere. But I really think we should have Raw and SmackDown have separate sets, and the pay-per-views should be separate sets. I know that probably, sounds like a lot of money to spend, but it can't be as much money as it costs to run all those bloody big LED panels, and the and how much those big screens cost. I mean, that surely, you can create a much better set for a separate set for SmackDown, a separate set for the pay-per-views, and not have it be sort of complete. I mean, it does. It really makes me feel that the very corporate look that WWE has really looks kind of lame these days. Admittedly, it's the same for Impact Wrestling. It is the same for Ring of Honor. Their sets are always the same. They don't have a ramp. They have steps. They have steps coming off their stage down to the ring. That's crazy. Have a ramp. But I would prefer WWE to go a little more creative in their set design. The current generic set. Looks it. Generic. It looks generic. It doesn't really... it doesn't really look that significantly different on SmackDown nor on pay-per-views. And that's a shame. So anyway, thanks for watching this episode of WrestlePod. Don't forget to like this video. Share it on social media with your friends. Subscribe to the YouTube channel for Ian Beaumont Live and Direct for more WrestlePods and other programs. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/WrestlePodIBLND. That's where you'll find, this show goes up on Facebook as well as YouTube. So if you're watching us on Facebook, don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube, go over to the Facebook page and give us a like there. You may get occasional other posts from me there as well about whatever wrestling related I might be thinking about. I haven't done any yet, but I'm thinking about it. I'm considering. So it was one of those things I was going to type a little post earlier this week about Impact, but I held off because I thought, save it for the show. But yes, so subscribe on YouTube, like us on Facebook, and support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Ian Beaumont Live and Direct for more bonus content such as the upcoming Starrcade 1983 reactions. I'm looking forward to doing that. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. Till next time, stay sharp, stay tuned.